shoot. You have to bring it back down, reset, go back up. Jordan Poole up and under to finish. Come on now. This man is feeling himself. Jordan Poole, that pass was low. Relocate three, and he's hit another one. A little step back. Wayne Ellington is dizzy right now.
In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. In recent years, it seems like a star player goes down almost every season. We've witnessed the NBA's brightest stars go down with horrendous injuries that sideline them for months, sometimes even years. The Golden State Warriors are the prime example of a team that basically took a few years off because their injuries to Steph and Klay destroyed any chance of reclaiming the championship, at least until they returned. During these times, the Warriors knew they weren't ready to compete, so the organization used that time to develop new talent, new prospects who otherwise would not have gotten the chance if the team remained healthy. One of those guys was Jordan Poole, a man who lived in relative obscurity prior to joining the Warriors, a man who ascended into prominence and took full advantage of this opportunity, though at the same time, his future on the Warriors is questionable. How's it going, folks? My name's Andy, and today let's talk about the rise of Jordan Poole and his unorthodox NBA career. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe. If you like the content, drop a sub or a like, and thank you so much for the support. Prior to the NBA, Poole played at Michigan, a productive yet understated member of the team. He averaged about 12-13 points a game, but what made him especially appealing to the Warriors was that he looked like he had the skills of a complete shooting guard, plus his work ethic. This was in 2019, so the Warriors just came off a finals appearance, hence why they had a very late pick in the first round. Bob Myers stated, "I think what kept me as a fan of Jordan was his work ethic. When you talk to college coaches and you see these intel reports, it's always last guy in the gym and first guy there, and great kid, one of the best I've ever coached. There's so much of that hyperbole around players that you really kind of gloss over. You don't know until you know, and I think with Jordan, he's the one." The Warriors are a very analytics-driven team, and according to an article from The Athletic, they have the data to show that Poole is always in the gym more than any other player. They use a tracking system which tells them which players are taking the most shots from which areas during practice, and Poole shattered all the numbers. He took more shots than anyone else from every area. With all this being said, I still haven't said the most important reason the Warriors wanted to draft him. They needed somebody to fill in for Klay. A few months prior to the 2019 draft, Klay went down with a devastating torn ACL in the finals. With Durant also leaving, the Warriors knew this would be a gap year. Those are some hard shoes to fill, and out of the gate, it was a disastrous season for the Warriors, as they went 15-50. Even worse, Poole didn't show enough to make us think he'd stay in the league for much longer. I mean, what exactly were we expecting? You can't think that a rookie, the 28th pick of the draft, would be able to replace Klay Thompson. His old assistant coach, DeAndre Haynes, who continued to support him as he made it to the NBA, noticed that Poole was not adjusting well to the NBA landscape. He kind of struggled a little bit. He was trying to do too much, didn't know when to take or find his shots. However, it was mentioned earlier that it was his work ethic that attracted him to the Warriors, and he made staggering improvements every offseason. Poole knew that if he didn't show he's capable of playing at an NBA level, the second Klay Thompson returns, he's gone. Hours upon hours in the gym fueled his determination to succeed. It also helps when you get drafted to an established, well-managed organization with tons of people to look up to. Andre Iguodala took him under his wing as they developed a close friendship, spending many nights on road trips talking and eating dinner together. Most importantly, Poole had the advantage of observing Steph Curry up close. Curry is the guy Poole wants to become. When asked about how much has Curry influenced his own playstyle, Poole responded, "Everything Steph does, I watch. I'd be a fool to not, and it's not like I'm watching it and applying somewhere else. I'm applying it in the same system he's in." By his sophomore season, he made a significant jump. While he still came off the bench and played even fewer minutes compared to his rookie season, his production increased. He averaged 12 points a game for the season on a much higher shooting efficiency, now showing off his three-point shot and all-around offensive repertoire that the Warriors initially drafted him for. This improvement continued on to his third season, now averaging over 17 points a game, the third leading scorer on the Warriors, who are once again near the top of the conference, aiming for the championship. By putting in so much work, the confidence came along with it, perhaps too much confidence sometimes. Poole is not somebody who just sits there and agrees with everything you do. He's proactive in making his own decisions, creating his own plays, and doing what he believes is the best choice. That kind of personality occasionally leads to confrontations with his teammates. During a game in November, on a particular possession, Poole decided to dismiss the game plan and go ISO. He couldn't get past his defender, and it eventually led to a turnover, which infuriated Draymond Green. It was so bad that they started yelling at each other on the bench. Poole said that he saw the play was dead from his perspective, so he decided to go ISO to try and save the possession, but Green thought otherwise. It's these moments that separate Poole from most other young players. He questions literally everything, from certain plays that Steve Kerr draws up to game-time decisions and even lineup choices. Poole strives to learn more. However, he's not an emotional person either. He's cool and calculated. Every time he challenges the norm, he backs it up with facts. This was also apparent in his argument with Dre. He explained to him his thought process and why he decided to ISO in that situation, which he accepted. Throughout the 2021-22 campaign, Poole has shown flashes of all-star potential. A few days after that incident, he had back-to-back 30-plus point games. There are times when you look at him and think, dude, this guy is gonna be on the Warriors for a long time. Other times, he looks quite inconsistent. That makes sense, as he's a young guy jacking up over 7 threes a game, but percentage-wise, he's only 9th best on his own team. Remember how I mentioned earlier that Poole's future in Golden State may not be set in stone? Well, here's why. He's currently on his rookie scale contract and will become a restricted free agent in the summer of 2023. According to the salary projections by Bobby Marks of ESPN, with the way Poole is currently playing, his worth is an estimated $18 million a year. Considering the Warriors have literally the highest payroll in the entire league right now, at a whopping $178 million, I don't know if they want to re-sign Poole when the time comes. The Warriors have always been willing to go over the cap if it means giving them a better chance to win the title, but not this much over. And with Klay's return and Poole's minutes likely decreasing in the playoffs, perhaps it wouldn't be worth it, unless Poole takes another massive jump in the next year. So he had been in the starting lineup since the beginning of the season, but when Klay came back, his spot in the rotation was up in the air. We knew this would eventually happen. Poole doesn't mind, as he's still getting similar amounts of playing time. Plus, there's going to be times when him, Klay, and Curry all share the floor together. However, it will hamper his continued growth, a lower usage rate, fewer touches, less opportunity to make mistakes as the playoffs roll around. Everyone on the team knows this. They know Klay's return will limit the minutes of many other players. Draymond Green had the perfect thing to say. There's going to be some pissed off guys because you want to be out there regardless if Klay Thompson is back. As a leader, you appreciate that. I don't want a guy on the team who is just okay with sitting on the bench. Poole is confident enough in his own skills to not let this bother him, and just like Dre said, he'll probably be a bit pissed off and use this as motivation to show he deserves to be out there. It'll be interesting to see how his career develops from here, whether it's in Golden State or on another team. Despite the questions, one thing remains clear. Jordan Poole went from a complete nobody to one of the league's rising stars in front of one of the biggest fan bases in sports. It's a huge accomplishment, all because of an injury to his teammate. And that's all, folks. That sums up the rise of Jordan Poole. My only concern for him is that if he does leave the Warriors, will he fall into obscurity? If his career stagnates on another team and he continues putting up the same numbers he does now, he'll likely be forgotten. But hey, at least he'll get a massive payday out of it. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and of course, as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.